Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
What's going on, Ant?
Same old stuff, just 3 hours slower than you.
That's how it usually goes, right?
More or less. But the good news is I get to, see the future.
You do. Is the future... Wait, no, you see the... Oh, yes.
I just asked you.
Yes.
Yeah. You catch up. See how you catch up?
It's taken me a little while. The hamster falls off the wheel, gets back on, and then eventually starts running again.
I think your hamster's trapped in a Virtual Boy. That might be the problem.
The hamster ran away a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
We're back this week. We took a little bit of a hiatus, mostly because of just traveling for one of us and just under the weather for another one of us.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, there was a little bit of a China hangover on my side. What kind of hangover did you have?
Oh, I had a Jack Daniels. No, I did not. I had a Crown Royale hangover.
Ooh, very nice.
I've quickly learned, we talk a lot about retro. We are in our late 30s, early 40s, and we love retro. So trust me, I'm staring down the barrel. I went out, it was my cousin's birthday, and she's in her late 20s, and all of her friends are in her late 20s. And as much as I can hang with old video games, I really can't hang with a young crowd in New York City until 4 o'clock in the morning. But God help me, I tried.
Wow. Well, yeah, I give you credit for trying. I mean, even when I was in my prime, staying out till 4 a.m. was a daunting task for me anyway. So I'm quite proud to say that that's not the case anymore.
It's what I tried it. I tried it one more time. I'm like, you know what? I'm good from now on.
You're retiring.
So I officially am, and but we closed the bar. We had a good time, and
nice. See, I remember when we were younger, and it was we were complaining about the curfew, like and they instituted the curfew. Like, what do you mean there's a 4 a.m. curfew at bars in New York now? Like, this sucks. This is awful. In the meantime, it's like, if we get past midnight these days, we're lucky.
I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I look at my watch. I'm like, holy Lord, I can't believe it's this late. They're getting ready to close up. And then I get my way home. And then the next day, my voice was gone for about 3 days. Gone.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing, too. You pay the price.
I sure did. I still had to go to work, but my voice was gone.
Of course, absolutely.
But we're back this week, and we got some good stuff. Today's going to be, more. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff that's happening in the world of video games, and just getting ready really to close out 2018.
Yes, 2018 has come and gone, and man, I'd like to know where it went because it did one of those things again, where you blink and it's over. And I'm sure when we wrap up the year in a couple of weeks, we'll go through, kind of some of the best and brightest of 2018. But yeah, it is kind of amazing that we're already here.
Yeah, it's time's flying, but you know what? We are having fun, and we. A couple weeks ago when Josh was co-hosting, you guys were talking about the poll that we had on our Facebook page about incorporating, new games, talking about old games, because we all are gamers at heart.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're transitioning a little bit, and and in a good way, because we love our retro games. We'll always talk our retro games, but I feel like and like you said, we took a poll, and we may be doing a little bit of a disservice to not include some of the current gaming that we're both doing, because as much retro as we do play, there's new stuff out there that we want to try. Especially, the last few months, there have been some really heavy hitters that have come out on all platforms that we've both been dabbling in. So yeah, it just seems like the next evolutionary step in our show.
I agree. It's like, it's like when we went from 8-bit to 16-bit, then 16 to 32, 30 to 64, 64 to whatever.
Right.
So it's our next generation, if you will. And talking about heavy hitters, one of the bigger ones to come out recently is the newest in the Smash Brothers series.
Yes.
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch.
Yes, and it is fantastic. I am having a blast.
The game is so much more fun to play than I already thought it would be. And I've gone on record here already. I was saying, like, I wasn't a fan in the beginning of the Smash Brothers series. You loved it.
I loved the first one, and then I kind of petered off for me.
And I just wasn't crazy about it till the Wii U and 3DS versions.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up the Switch one. I haven't put it down.
Yeah.
I've unlocked maybe a handful of characters so far. How far have you got? Like as far as unlocking?
I've got at least a dozen.
Okay.
I think at this point.
Okay.
I keep going back and forth between because they've now instituted like they have the spirit mode and the adventure mode.
Yes.
And I love the fact that they have that because now it gives a whole one player experience, especially with me. Because I travel a lot and I take my Switch with me on the plane, but I can't do, I don't have an internet connection, so I can't go online and play anybody.
Yeah.
The best option for me is to do anything one player mode wise. And the fact that they included that has been fantastic. I think spirit mode, you unlock people faster than adventure mode because adventure mode sets the whole big board.
I noticed that. Yeah, you're right. With Spirit, I feel like I've definitely got more characters from that. Adventure mode, I'm loving though. It's
yes,
a great,
me too.
Great one-player game.
Yes.
And I got to say this right now. So far, the only character, and again, I'm a good handful into it. The only character that I've so far lost twice to unlock has been Sonic. I can't beat Sonic.
I haven't gotten a Sonic yet. My biggest hurdle so far has been there's a level with Bayonetta.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Where you're not allowed to jump. And she's got this slide move that she just does over and over again, so you can't even combat it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it took me forever to beat her.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was going to say, I like the challenges that they do on the levels. It's not just you're fighting the same characters over and over again. It's like, all right, you're fighting them again, but here's a twist to it.
Yep.
You can't jump, or it's really windy, or they have companions that you have to fight too. And
or like Giant Rob. I loved fighting Giant Rob.
Yes, Giant Rob. But yeah, so like they really put it together nicely. So I'm very I've been very impressed with it, and I've been enjoying it a lot. Almost as much as Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight. I just downloaded Dead by Daylight. PS4 has an amazing holiday sale going on right now.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. But I just want to ask you about Smash. Who's your go-to so far? At this point, who's your go-to fighter?
My go-to is the same go-to I've always had, which is Link.
Okay.
Look,
Kirby.
I'm Legend of Zelda biased. Well, Kirby's my second. And obviously, like when you first start the game in adventure mode, you only have Kirby, so you have no choice but to use him.
And that's where I kind of discussed. I wasn't using him in regular Smash mode. Mario, Donkey Kong. Actually, Donkey Kong for a little while I was leaning towards, but I'm finally getting used to Kirby. Let me ask you this: I don't know if you have the adapter or not, but like, because the GameCube, the Switch, there's there's so many different modes you can use it in. Yep. Handheld, Joy-Con, Pro Controller. Which controller have you been using?
I've been using the Pro Controller.
Okay.
Yeah, I find it's the most comfortable way to play.
Agreed. Unless you have the GameCube adapter.
Okay.
If you have the GameCube controller adapter, using the GameCube. Now, I wasn't into Smash until Wii U, so I skipped the GameCube. What was that? Smash Brothers Melee.
Yeah.
Or Brawl.
I thought that was Melee.
Okay, yeah, Melee. So I skipped it, but I've always loved the GameCube controller. It's a weird looking design, but I was always comfortable with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got a very comfortable feel in your hands, and I feel like the Pro Controller is close to that.
Yes.
Like I feel like they took they took the GameCube design and just kind of morphed it into the Pro Controller, which is why the Pro Controller feels very comfortable.
But using the GameCube controller really, to me, is a world of difference. I play a lot more of the game because I'm more comfortable using the controller. So I highly recommend any GameCube. You don't have to buy one of the new ones, the Smash Brothers one. Any GameCube controller will work. I just suggest getting that adapter. It plugs right into the dock, and I think the gameplay is so much better with the GameCube controller.
Yeah, and outside of the whole the controller option, which is great because if you have a GameCube controller, you can buy that attachment and everything like that. Just to jump back into the game itself, the mode with I like the spirit enhancement aspect of it because there are so many characters that you can unlock with bonuses, and so much so that I'm very happy when you're going through adventure mode before you go into a battle. They offer you a suggestion on who you should use in the battle for the spirits, because there's no way I'm going to stand there and figure it out every time.
Oh yeah, you hit Y and Y on the controller. You hit the button, but yeah.
Yeah, you hit a button, you hit the Y button on the Pro controller, and then it just tells you, use this guy. And I'm like, it's great. I don't have to think about it.
And you do learn because it's a rock paper scissors format as to how it goes. I think it's like shield beats action that beats grip that beats shield, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And no, that works out really well. I'm very close to leveling up a couple of spirits. And what's really cool is as well, if you see behind me, that's a little blurred out, I have Amiibo. And of course the game works with Amiibo. You can actually use an Amiibo as a companion in the game. You can level up the Amiibo. You can let the Amiibo fight on its own. So I don't know, I got about like 25 Amiibo.
Every Amiibo works?
Every Amiibo will scan. The only one that didn't scan was the one from the cereal box. And I have ones that aren't in like I have a Shovel Knight, the game Shovel Knight. He's not in Smash Brothers, but he is a spirit, I think. Yeah. So every Amiibo will scan, and either it'll be a fighter like Mario, Peach, Bowser, any of them.
Right.
And then you can level them up. You can use them. And if the ones that you can't use as a fighter, again, they become a spirit. And I must have spent about a half hour scanning all of them in. And it was just, so now I have these different ones. And it's funny too, some of them I used for Wii U, you can transfer them over to the Switch version.
Okay.
It's like whatever level they were, like they'll cut it by half, but you can still transfer it. The only used Amiibo I have is Mega Man. I bought it used. So I scanned it in, and whoever had it before, because you register Amiibo,
right,
had that person's name, and she had it up to level 50 from the Wii U version.
Oh, wow.
It was nuts. But I suggest, even if you just get one Amiibo, because sometimes it'll help in the fight. And it's just kind of a good time. You can even fight the Amiibo one-on-one, like if you want to just level up or just practice.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
See, I never collected Amiibo because I just didn't want one more basket of toys hanging around my house.
There's going to be a new Piranha Plant Smash Brothers Amiibo coming out.
No. Apparently the Piranha Plant, though, if you bought the game, like you should get a digital code to download him into the game.
In February, yeah. If you pre-ordered the game, you're going to get everyone will eventually be able to buy it. But yeah, if you pre-ordered it, it'll be available in February.
Oh, I did not pre-order it.
I did. So, but yeah, so far Smash Brothers, big time, loving it. And we're going to keep going. That's my go-to now. Sorry, Diablo 3.
Yeah. Well, I got to say, Smash Brothers has replaced, at least at the moment for me, Super Mario Party.
Okay.
That was what I was playing before that because I'm trying to unlock everything in Super Mario Party, like all the characters.
Really?
And that's that's been fun because you have to do all of the different, like, there are these shards you need to collect.
Yeah.
Some kind of shard, and in order to do it, like, you have to complete all of the board game levels to get a shard, and then you have to complete the entire river adventure to collect a shard, so on and so forth.
And I'm working on the river adventure.
Right, and then once you do that, you get all of the you can unlock all the characters. So I was working on that before Smash Brothers. Now I have all Smash Brothers.
Awesome. So so let us know. Let us know on the Facebook page, on the Instagram page, who's your favorite go-to fighter, and also feel free to friend us if we put our codes out there. Maybe take on the retro gamers in Smash Brothers.
Or better yet, defeat the retro gamers because, definitely defeat Larry. There's no question about that. You can tell just how, that just says it all right there. Where are they?
Right.
I see them. I see them on the Hulk Hogan figure in the background. That's about it. Those are the guns you have.
All right. Moving right along from that.
What's next?
I do want to mention this cool product that I got. I talked about this maybe 6 months ago. Okay. It was a Kickstarter. It was this thing called Flip Grip for the Switch. Mm-hmm. Basically, what the idea was, it's this piece that you have that you can play vertical shooters or like arcade games in their intended like tall ratio.
Okay.
You know, like on a lot of games, like the Namco Museum will do it, or a lot of the like arcade.
With the vertical
shoot-em-ups.
bars on the side.
Well, that, but you can also rotate the screen 90 degrees.
Yes.
Which wouldn't, I mean, if I could put my television on its side, that would be amazing.
That would be cool.
For the longest time, it never made sense. And the same thing, they did it on the Xbox and the PlayStation. It was the same idea. But you couldn't do anything with it. And when you play in that ratio where you turn it,
yep,
it actually fills up the screen. It's, because a lot of times the screen is just filled up with the border. Yep. So I did a Kickstarter, Flip Grip, $12 for the Kickstarter, and it actually arrived. And this is the Flip Grip.
Oh,
that's simple. It's a nice, simple piece of plastic, nice, durable plastic. But here's how it works. And this thing is, I can't wait for it to be on the regular market. I suggest everyone to get one. So you have your switch like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically, there it is. It only goes in one way, so you can't screw this up. But you put the system, it even tells you on how to do it.
Like how to put it on there. Yeah.
So you just put that in, slides right in, locks into place.
Okay.
And then what you do is you put the Joy-Cons. There's rails. It's not going to charge them. It's just to put them in.
Okay.
There you go.
And then you just play it vertically.
And then you can play the games vertically. And it is just, it's such a simple idea. Uh-oh.
Can you boot up? Boot up a game for an example?
Now. So I'm doing it right now.
But yeah, being able to turn it vertically and playing a game like that won't play full screen horizontally is great.
Yeah. So right now it's Namco Museum right now. It's just the easiest one to show off.
Okay.
So it's loading right now. I love, and it's durable. The Joy-Cons are in there. They're not going anywhere.
I didn't realize if you flipped your switch vertically like that it would rotate. I didn't know that.
Well, it doesn't do it automatically.
Yeah. You have to.
No. It's in the options. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
But there's a little thing on the back. See that orange clip? Yes. That's how it stays in. So when you want to take it out, you just got to pull up on that. Also, you can use. And I don't know where it went, so I can't demo it. But
oops.
Oh man, where'd it go? Oh well. Well, there's a slot on the back. You see these slots there. I think it's this one. See, it looks like a credit card. Forgive me, it's a little loud. If you put a credit card, any old credit card, and it comes with a card as well, it'll act as a kickstand. So you put it on the table, and then you can play from a distance.
Cool. Very cool.
All right, so here's Namco Museum. So right now, okay. So I already have it rotated.
Nice.
So,
oh wow. All right, so let's start a game up and take a look at that. The Blues Brothers thing on the wall is look at that.
Oh, I died. But that's basically how you can play. Look how it looks a lot different
and more fun. Bigger. Yeah, definitely bigger.
I love this code.
Yeah, that's a nifty little gadget there.
Oh yeah, I definitely recommend it. I forget it's touchscreen sometimes. Sleep. I don't know if it's on the market yet, but be on the lookout for the Flip Grip. Wholeheartedly recommend that. I love this thing.
I'm sure Nintendo will come out with their own version very soon.
Probably, but right now that one's the way to go.
All right. Very cool.
So that's my go-to of the week.
I like that. It's really cool. I did not do. I don't have anything to show off this week. I didn't do any shopping outside of Christmas shopping for other people.
Gotta do that.
And again, with the exception of, and I guess we'll talk about this right now. The sale going on the PlayStation Store.
Yes.
Which is actually really, really it's the time of year for sales, right? We're in the holidays, everybody's shopping. I was at GameStop yesterday, and they actually had a really good sale on all of their merch. Like a lot of merchandise was like 30% off, buy one get one half off, so on and so forth. And they're coming out with some clever stuff. Like there was a PlayStation lamp. It was the four controller, the XO square triangle in a row like this, and it lit up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I actually thought that was really cool. I almost picked it up.
Yeah.
Lot of Kingdom Hearts merch, a lot of Nintendo merch and stuff like that. Just really, really good sales. But in the PlayStation Store, which you brought up to me, but I had actually known the day before. I just didn't get a chance to go on it yet. But they're doing an insane amount, like an insane sale on the PlayStation Store, where it's like 60% off a bunch of stuff.
And they're doing it, I think, each week this month, because this is week 1 that's happening.
Yeah. So this is only week 1.
Yeah, it says week 1 sales.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, and we're talking like really, really good games for dirt cheap. Like for example, I picked up the Limbo Inside Combo Pack. And if you haven't played those games, at least Limbo, I played Limbo. I never played Inside. Inside was a sequel. But Limbo, I played on my 360, and it's a just beautiful game, absolutely beautiful game. It takes about an hour and a half to get through. It was never meant to be like a super long game. That's why, like, I think the original retail price was $15. But you got the 2-pack for them for like I think $6 or $7.
That's not bad at all.
Great.
I saw I saw a 2-pack. You can get the 2 Harry Potter Lego games.
Yep.
Years 1 to 4 to 5 to 8 for like $7.
Yeah, I mean it's insane. And those games, I bought those on 360 when they first came out. Those games were a blast. I loved playing those. Yeah, absolutely. It was still part of the time when the Lego games were silent, and I actually liked them better because they were smarter that way. Granted, look, dialogue is a must in video games these days because technology. I was like, however, they found a way to make it so clever. That when they finally did start putting voices in it, I thought it took away from it a little.
I hear you.
But again, for $7, you're getting 2 solid games that actually just released on the Switch, by the way, for $25, I think.
I think so, yeah. Well, full price, yeah, because it's new on the Switch. Another one on the PS4, which I almost bought. I'm debating to pull the trigger because the sale looks like it's going to happen to like middle of January, actually. These prices are good till January.
So they're selling time.
Exactly. Wait for that Christmas money to come in.
Exactly.
You can buy both the Spyro trilogy and the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, the remastered trilogies, both at the same time for $50. They'd go for what? They're $40 each.
Yeah. Well, they just came out. They're new. So yeah, and granted, the caveat to all of this is it's download only. You're not going to get the physical disc. And I know, like you personally prefer the digital, but just to put it out there, it's like these are download only. What I love doing though with that is I don't have to sit on my PlayStation to go shopping. Like let's say out and about and I'm sitting at a Starbucks somewhere and whatnot. I can sign into my PlayStation account online. I can go shopping and then it'll tell my PlayStation to download it, and then by the time I get home later, which is what I did with my purchases yesterday, I got home
when I was talking to you.
Yeah, I got home last night. Turned on my PlayStation, and it just told me, "All right, all of these are downloaded now. The 4 games that I bought."
Yeah, that can get dangerous. Trust me.
Oh no, I trust. I know it is, but what's not dangerous is not having an external hard drive, so that as soon as you hit that half a gig, you're done.
This is true. So, see, I got a terabyte, so.
Yeah, you're screwed. See, I just have the half a terabyte, so I'm done. I can't even buy Red Dead Redemption 2. Because I don't because I just don't have the space. But again,
no one does.
Nobody does. But the PlayStation Store sale definitely. If you have a PS4 and you're looking for stuff, definitely check it out. Be very wary. Larry had pointed this out to me. Be very wary of games that are on sale there that are not for the PS4, because there's stuff up there that's for PS3, PS Vita that will not work on the PS4.
Because I think what game did you saw? You're like, ooh, let me get this.
I'm like Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Yes, that's right. That's on PS3 and Vita.
That's
which
PS3 only. Yeah.
If you have a PS3 or a Vita, depending on the games you want, then go for it.
Yeah, go for it, but not on the PS.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful. That's why sometimes it's better to do the shopping on the PS4 because you can sort it by the system. Yeah. But also, to be fair, there's like 930 games on sale for the PS4 and like 15 for the Vita and like 60 for the PS3.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's why I took it, and I took a little advantage. I didn't have time to go through the whole thing because it's so massive.
Oh, yeah.
But so I picked up Limbo and Inside. I picked up. This is a game I've always wanted to play. It's a retro game. Always wanted to play it. Never had an opportunity before. But Grim Fandango remastered.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard about. I've never played it.
It was one of the last. Well, it wasn't one of the last, but it was one of the best LucasArts games that ever came out. I think it was only on PC. I think I'm not 100% sure, but it's like this film noirish kind of game with all these really weird looking characters. You know, because this came from the same team that did Maniac Mansion and Day of the Tentacle.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was the same team. Okay.
Yeah, so it came from because those were LucasArts as well.
Yes.
So I downloaded that with the intention of playing it finally. And then the last game I picked up was a game that we covered on the Retro Gamers a while ago. Yeah, like months and months ago. We talked about a game called White Day. I forgot the subtitle. It was like something, a day called school or something like that.
Something weird, yeah.
Whatever it was, it's like and what's interesting about it is that I didn't realize that there's a lot of downloadable elements to it.
Oh my God, were there?
Game purchases. Yeah, because costumes. Right, costumes and stuff like that. But the idea behind the game is that it's based off of a holiday in Japan called White Day, which is basically their version of Valentine's Day. Because on Valentine's Day in Japan, it's the reverse of what we do. Women buy men gifts. Mm-hmm. And then a month later, on March 14th, on White Day, the men return the favor and buy women gifts. So the whole idea behind the game is it's about White Day. Mm-hmm. And I'm really curious. And the game sounded interesting enough to me that I wanted to pick it up. So I picked that up to play as well.
Yeah, me too. I picked that up. I picked up Dead by Daylight.
Yes.
None of the downloadable content yet, but Dead by Daylight.
That's okay because, look, you got to start simple. And I will guide you through your first couple of games.
You will kill me quickly and swiftly.
No. We will both be survivors.
And I also picked up a game that was only $1 called Punch Day. It's one of these, it's kind of like almost like a cell phone game. Mm-hmm. It's like, you kind of you repetitive, like you're a boxer or it's like street fighting and you train, you do this, you train, you do this, you go out fight, and then you go and train. So it's kind of like a quick pick-me-up game. But it was $1. It looks fun. So I'm like, why not? So I threw that in there.
Can't go wrong for $1.
No, not at all. So yeah, PS4's got a great sale. I haven't seen anything from Microsoft as far as a sale. Nintendo's
Microsoft's got to step it up. My Xbox One has been off for a very long time.
I got news for you. Short of PUBG and probably Call of Duty, but I don't even think this Call of Duty was that high. Except for Red Dead. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Well, Red Dead's on all platforms, or on both platforms. So
yeah, and you need
definitely where you get it.
And you need like a separate console apparently for Red Dead Revolution 2. I heard the day Redemption. One update. What'd I say?
Revolution.
Oh, that's another game. Red Dead Redemption 2. Like the update was 123 gigs.
Oh wow,
it's sick. And Nintendo's like, we would love for Red Dead to be on the Switch.
Yeah, because it'll fit perfectly on those little SD cards that they have.
Please. But nevertheless,
we'd love to have Red Dead Redemption on Switch. It'll cost you $374.
Yeah, because you need a whole separate Switch.
Yeah.
Well.
Crazy.
But still, cool stuff. Go check out the sales. A lot of, and like Anthony said, there's like these older games remastered. If you have a PS3, you have a Vita, you can get some of the PS1 classics, PS2 classics. So now's the time. And as usual, it's like February, March, even like July and August. Like I see a game, and sometimes I'm like, unless it's a first party game, like unless it's a Nintendo game from Nintendo, which never goes on sale, it's like I can wait, or I should wait. Mm-hmm. Because these games we just bought a few months ago, Diablo 3 was already like a third off. WWE 2K19 was already like half off.
I know. I'm kicking myself for spending full price on that one.
Me too. There's a lot of games.
I've yet to turn it on.
Yeah, I've only done it a couple of times. But hey, you know what? It is what it is. So
I just bought it for my name.
Yeah, exactly. Still fun. So
yes. All right, Larry, it is time, and we haven't done this one in a while. It is time for a very special segment of Retro Records.
Ooh, all right, yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay. It's definitely been a while. But a record has just happened to fall into our lap, and I think it's definitely worth bringing up. So, the Guinness Book of World Records, or the Guinness World Records, has officially recognized Mr. Charles Martinet as getting the record for voicing a character the most number of times consecutively in animation. And in this case, if you don't know who Charles Martinet is, he is the voice of none other than Mario in the Super Mario games.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So officially, as of December 17th, Charles Martinet has voiced Mario 100 times.
Wow.
100 times.
That is insanity. And it started what? Started with Super Mario 64.
It started with Super Mario 64. So if you ever think about when you hear that very obvious and significant voice behind
Mario.
Exactly. You do it terribly. There's been one man behind it ever since that started back in Super Mario 64, and that is Charles Martinet. And he is now a member of the Guinness World Record as of December 7th, 2018. So bear in mind, I'm sure he'll be tacking on some more moving forward. Because we haven't seen the end of Mario, and Charles is alive and well and enjoying voicing, the Mario character. So congratulations, Charles Martinet, for this week's retro record.
All right, so we taking a week off, we kind of would have talked about this last week. I was actually geared up to do kind of a special live Facebook on this, but again, with not being able to talk, it didn't work. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to go as in depth as we would have last week.
Don't drink in pod, ladies and gentlemen.
No, don't, trust me. That's for a different show. We're going to brush on and talk about the Game Awards. Now, this I don't think is the same as the Video Game Awards that used to be on Spike TV back in the day.
Yes.
This is the Game Awards. I'm going to, full disclosure, like I'm not sure like how it started or the guy who started it was the host. So I didn't, but it looks like it was just for the love of gaming, which is awesome. It was very normal. It wasn't in your face. It didn't try to be cool and hip. It was just an award show. It wasn't on the networks. It was on like Twitch, YouTube, their website. So the
future of television.
No, really. And I watched it on YouTube. It was awesome in 4K. Nice. It was fantastic. And it started out, it opened with the head of Sony Entertainment, the head of Microsoft Entertainment, and the head of Nintendo. So Phil Spector, Reggie Fils-Aimé, and I forgot the other guy's name, but
the other guy.
All three
Sean
guys.
Layden.
Yes. All three guys in charge of PlayStation, Microsoft, and Nintendo on the stage at the same time, welcoming us to the Game Awards. That in itself was just an amazing moment to see, especially with the fights about cross-platforming and some PlayStation wants something to do with it.
They should have pushed what's his name off the stage, Phil Spencer.
Yeah. And then
wasn't it? I thought it was Microsoft that was getting in the way of it. Is it Sony?
No, yes, Sony, like on Rocket.
All right, so Sean Layden should have got thrown off the stage.
So, but the Game Awards were fun. It was the fifth year doing it. They had like some stars there. But basically we're just going to run through just not all of them, a few of the awards. Some I was kind of shocked with, but here, we're going to get right into it. One I want to mention real quick, best debut indie game, because I actually just picked this game up because it won an award. And the game is amazing. It's The Messenger.
Oh, okay.
It plays, and I've heard this before, but I can tell you now from playing it, it really does play like Ninja Gaiden. The original
very cool.
Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, it's awesome. The Messenger, check it out. Then we have shocking Fortnite, best multiplayer game.
Not surprising.
You're right. Best sports racing game, Forza Horizon 4.
Oh, interesting.
That beat out FIFA 19, Mario Tennis Aces, NBA 2K19, and Pro Evolution Soccer 2019. Something happened when that award was being given, which we'll talk about in a moment. Let's see, best family game. This is the category that I was shocked at, and not because of the game that won, because of how one of the other games did not win. So here are the nominees. Best family game, Mario Tennis Aces, Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo Labo, Nintendo. Super Mario Party, Nintendo. Starlink, Battle for Atlas, Ubisoft, but there's a special Star Fox in-game thing you can do with that. So Nintendo, kind of, sort of.
Right.
And Overcooked 2. 3 Nintendo games, one game that I feel like Nintendo has their hand in,
right,
and then a separate Ghost Town Games. The winner, Overcooked 2.
Hey, Nintendo can't win them all, or any.
That night, any. I was shocked at that one, how, like, at least Mario Party didn't win that one, but, you know, and I think it's us.
I would have thought Mario Party would have been a good choice for that.
Yeah, and I think the players, like, we get to go online and vote, because I kind of...
Well, maybe, you know what, maybe Overcooked wound up winning because they thought that Nintendo had gotten enough out of the evening, because didn't they give a Lifetime Achievement Award to the Virtual Boy?
I wish. Don't mock it. Don't mock it.
Yeah.
So...
they credited the Virtual Boy with almost causing the second crash in video game history.
How dare you? Best fighting game was between Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, Soul Calibur 6, Street Fighter 5, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. The winner on that one was Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Best role.
I thought Soul Calibur would have taken that one.
I would have thought that, or at least Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Best role playing game, Monster Hunter World. So Capcom.
Yeah. I need to play that. I hear great things.
Best mobile game, Florence. There are some mobile games out there. I kind of thought PUBG Mobile was going to win, but no, not on that one.
No. Never underestimate the power of Florence.
Best action game is a good category. The nominees were Destiny 2 Forsaken, Dead Cells, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Far Cry 5, and Mega Man 11. And the winner was Dead Cells.
Oh, interesting.
A lot of, well, to me, sleepers, because I haven't heard of some of these, but that's good.
Yeah, no, because you know, it brings some of these games you may not know of to the forefront. So,
like I said,
you should pay attention to.
That's what got me to buy The Messenger. Then we started getting into the heavy hitters here. Where are we?
I'm just waiting for you to say it because I know the obvious thing that's coming.
Well, best ongoing game, that was between Destiny 2, No Man's Sky, Fortnite, Overwatch, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. So the best ongoing game, obviously, Fortnite.
Of course.
Also, now here are the ones that I want to talk about. So, best narrative, which I thought was kind of cool. And you know what?
Okay.
You know, in Hollywood, you're a writer. I feel like this is something that would be up your alley as far as best narrative. So not necessarily the gameplay, but the story.
Yeah, no, I think especially for certain, you know, for single player games, like the story comes first. I mean, it's just like any movie. It's like you need the story first before you start to fill the story with other elements.
So the nominees for this one were Life is Strange 2.
I heard that game is fantastic, by the way.
The game looks awesome.
Second. Yeah.
Marvel Spider-Man.
Also amazing.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
The obvious choice.
Detroit Become Human. I've heard good things about that.
Yeah, I heard great things about that one.
And God of War.
Also, a game I heard that it's actually on my list to pick up as well. I want that game.
I got it. Played a little bit of it. It's amazing. Now, before I announce the winner, let's just look at the 3 games from Sony Interactive, 1 from Square Enix, 1 from Rockstar Games. So these are 3 heavy-hitting companies that know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
And the winner for Best Narrative was Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's not surprising at all.
One of many awards that it seemed to have won in the evening. Red Dead Redemption 2 also won for Best Score or Music, beating out Celeste, God of War, Spider-Man, Octopath Traveler, and Ni no Kuni 2.
Yeah, Octopath Traveler is another game that I purchased and got to start playing because I heard it's outstanding.
A friend of mine at work actually said, how's it called again? Octopath
Traveler?
Yeah. Also, Red Dead Redemption 2 also picked up, where'd it go? Best Audio Design. So much like the Oscars, sometimes you get those smaller awards that they kind of like do the night before.
Exactly, and then it kind of adds up, or all of a sudden it's like you won 10 awards, but you only watched them win like 2.
Yeah, really. The other big hitter, best action adventure game.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel Spider-Man, Red Dead 2, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, God of War, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And the winner on this one was God of War.
Yeah, God of War I think was probably behind Red Dead Redemption 2 the heaviest hitter of the year. I've heard nothing but praise for this game. Granted, if you play the original, you know exactly what kind of game you're getting into with this one. And I really can't wait to get my hands on it because everybody's talking about how great it is.
God of War is one of my favorite series of all time. It's amazing. I want to go back because best performance, I don't know if I mentioned, also went to Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
Which is weird now, best performance, but you forget these new games is like all mocap.
I was just gonna say it's mocap, it's voice actor. I don't think voiceover actors get all the respect that they deserve because even though they're just lending their voice to a game or television show, whatever it is, they're still acting. You know what I mean? They're still you're not seeing it maybe necessarily, but when you do mocap, obviously, like that's them acting. I mean, granted, they're digitizing it and all that stuff. But those are their facial expressions, those are their emotions. So it's just it only makes sense that they would have an award for that.
No, agreed. And when they were reading the nominees, like you'd see a little bit of the motion capture, and these actors they got them dressed in the motion capture. It's not like someone else may be doing it, right? And then they'll voice over. But Red Dead Redemption 2, Detroit Become Human, God of War, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Spider-Man were all part in that category.
Who took it?
And the guy who plays Kratos in God of War, Christopher Judge, him and the kid who played the boy in God of War, they came out to do an award. And Christopher Judge, I got to figure out what else he's in. His voice, that's his normal voice, that booming voice.
Isn't that crazy?
For Kratos, it's ridiculous. Now, there were a lot of other awards here. The last two I want to mention. Best game direction. Maybe you can help me out with this. I still kind of missed what this may have meant. I'm guessing like how the storyline progressed or like how it was edited together, for lack of a better term. Like, is there any direction? Like best.
Well, I mean, think about it this way. Video games are like movies. They're like movies, and movies need a director, right? Because director guides the film, and it's ultimately their vision that gets to the final product. You get the same thing with the video game. Granted, the player is driving the story forward because we're playing the protagonist as opposed to just watching a main character walk across the screen. I was like, however, what we're doing in a game is still leading you down a path to the overall story of the game and the experience of the game. And you need a director to do that. The director will capture all of that, will capture the drama and the action and all of that stuff. So best game direction to me is that.
All right. Totally get it then. Nominees, Detroit Become Human, Spider-Man, Red Dead 2, A Way Out, which I actually never heard of, but it looks cool.
I haven't heard of that one either.
And God of War, and the game that won Best Game Direction, God of War.
Yeah. Again, it was one of those things where almost every category you could have said God of War or Red Dead 2 was going to win it, with a little Spider-Man on the outside, I think.
You know what? You're right. Spider-Man had 7 nominations. God of War and Red Dead had 8 nominations. Now, of all the categories, there 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 22 categories. 22 categories. Really only, I was going to say, like 4 games dominated those 22. Now, Game of the Year. We're leading to Game of the Year. Now, at this point, Red Dead has 3 awards. God of War has 2 awards at this point. Spider-Man, shockingly, hasn't won anything yet.
Yeah, because it was getting shut out by God of War and Red Dead 2.
But just the way like it hyped, it's almost like you kind of feel bad for like these superhero movies, even at the Oscars. Sometimes they get shunned just for being a superhero movie.
That's correct.
So
that's not going to change.
Well, Black Panther got nominated for something. Oh, that was a Golden Globe.
Yes.
Yeah. So Game of the Year. Here are the nominees. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Celeste, Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, Red Dead 2, and God of War. And what was funny about this, the Russo brothers, they directed Infinity War, right?
Yes.
All right. So the Russo brothers come out. This is like, they had some names come out to announce these awards. They come out and they go, all right, well, we started with 12 nominees for Game of the Year, but now we have 6.
Nice.
Thought that was pretty funny. Game of the Year. You would think went to Red Dead 2. You would be wrong. It went to God of War. God of War walks out Game of the Year.
And you know what? And rightfully so. I think it earned it. I mean,
I think so too.
Yeah, no question.
I find it funny though, like with Red Dead winning all these big awards, like one of the big ones. How does that in itself not make it Game of the Year? I just find that part funny. I don't know.
I don't know. I think Game of the Year is pretty much like overall. I mean, when you look back on everything about the game, like, in its completion, which one has basically the best sum of all of its parts? And you know what? If Red Dead 2 won, I don't think it would. Nobody would have batted an eye either. I really do think either way, everybody was going to go home happy.
Oh no, totally. Can't go wrong with it.
Nope.
So those were the nominees. Those were the awards. I highly recommend. I'm going to pay more attention to this for next year. It looks like I guess it's every December, so we got to wait a year.
Yeah.
But it was very cool. Now the other thing that they did during the night.
Yep.
A lot of exclusives. This thing was better than E3 as far as announcements.
Yeah, and I honestly think E3 is starting to go the way of the dinosaur.
Look,
Sony pulled out of it already.
Yep.
I don't know. Microsoft, I think, is still going to be there, but
Nintendo hasn't been there. They do a direct feed. They do one of their direct whatevers.
Yeah, I think when E3 went corporate, I think it started to lose its just started to lose its luster, because it used to be it used to be an expo for gamers. Then it just became an expo for people in the gaming business, and I think that's just where the intrigue started to lose.
I can see that.
At least that's my assessment, because I always wanted to go to E3, and then when they closed it off, I'm like, well, I can't go. So what? But now, why should I care enough to pay attention?
Yeah.
I'd rather just go online and see the announcements myself.
And so I'm watching the Game Awards. Again, I just caught at the last minute. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. Even though it was funny because it was announced all over the place when I was in LA, because it took place in the theater next to the Staples Center. So, yes. So they had the first world premiere. I'm like, all right, what could this be? Honestly, no offense to the Game Awards, but I'm like, what could they premiere at the Game Awards that's not going to be at E3? And by God, the first one that came out of the box was a humdinger. It was announced that exclusive on the Nintendo Switch, Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order.
I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it's something awesome.
Well, if you don't know what The Black Order is, then you weren't paying attention when you watched Infinity War. Did you watch Infinity War?
I did, but I don't remember it.
Okay. The Black Order were basically Thanos' henchmen. The 4?
Oh.
They're the Black Order. They are the Black Order. And in the comic books, there's actually a 5th one. Okay. So they're the ones. So just based off the title, and obviously if you saw the trailer or the teaser that they gave, this game is gonna be focused on the Infinity Gems or Infinity Stones storyline, which is one of the most heralded storylines in all of comic book history, and now in all of superhero film history. So just that in and of itself, it's like, I'm already sold. Like, I don't need to see anything else for this game. It's already on the list.
Yeah, no. And then so that alone made me go, all right, they're playing with fire here. This is going to be pretty sweet with exclusives and world premieres. Beyond that, it was also, there were a ton of Smash Brothers commercials, because Smash was being released midnight that night. So it was cool how Nintendo worked with them, because you'd be like, the commercial, Super Smash Brothers comes out in 4 hours.
Basically, when we're done with the Video Game Awards, everybody run to the store.
That's really what it was. Exactly. Another one I want to mention, which was really cool, again, came out of nowhere. So as I was talking about the best sports and racing game, Ed Boon was the presenter for that one.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't know who Ed Boon is, he's one of the co-creators of Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
So he comes out, all right, cool. Nice to see Ed Boon. Haven't really seen him, heard from him in a while. And he's just talking, video games, racing. So here are the nominees for best sports and racing game. Well, then all of a sudden you see Raiden and Scorpion on the screen. And the first thing that comes to my mind is, oh my God, they're making a Mortal Kombat kart racing game. That was my first go-to. But no, we're getting something even better. We're getting Mortal Kombat 11.
Yes. Very excited about that.
Very exciting. Here's the part that I really like. So it's Raiden, Scorpion, obviously souped up graphics, Scorpion looking amazing. Mm-hmm. Raiden takes out Scorpion, but then all of a sudden another Scorpion shows up. But it's the Scorpion dressed like the original Mortal Kombat game.
Oh, from the arcade.
Yeah, that costume.
Nice.
It wasn't like digitized, but that
right.
costume.
Got it.
So I'm wondering if it's going to they're going to incorporate stuff like from the first game into this new one.
Or is it going to be kind of like the Mortal Kombat trilogy game where they put everything in it?
I'll take it. Oh, yeah. Look, Smash Brothers is already showing that works.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, look, there's a hunger for that type of stuff, especially with us. We talk retro games because those games from 10, 20, 30 years ago are still, they're still enjoyable to us today. The nostalgia factor, the difficulty factor, all of these things. I go, so to do like some type of culmination in a game for today's consoles, it's just a no-brainer at this point.
Awesome. Did you see any other exclusives?
There were a couple of things that I saw on the list that I was actually interested in. One was there's a new Dragon Age coming, Dragon Age: The Dreadwolf Rises.
Yep.
So they're continuing that story, that franchise, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Far Cry New Dawn was announced.
That looks good. Yep.
That looks really good. Stranger Things 3, the game, was announced for those of you who love Stranger Things.
Yes. That's and that leads into season 3 of Stranger Things.
And that leads into season 3 of Stranger Things. So you get your 16-bit out. And then finally, they announced, since you were talking about sports and racing, I thought you were going here. But they announced Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. So we're getting a new Crash racing game.
Actually, it's not new. It's
the original release.
It's the repolished.
The repolished.
CTR.
Okay, so it's that one. But still.
Good game.
That game was amazing.
Yep.
So it'll be great to see that all polished up and pretty on our new systems.
Absolutely. So that was the Game Awards. We're definitely going to pay more attention to that next year. I had a blast watching it. You can still watch it now if you want. It's on YouTube.
Well, maybe next year we'll make a point to do a little like you said, you want to do a live stream during it to discuss it. We can do a little Mystery Science Theater 3000 with it.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Live from the fake red carpet.
Exactly. Live from our living rooms.
That'd be awesome. I'm in.
Yes. We'll dress up in tuxes and just sit on recliners.
We're doing it. It's on the docket. Make it so.
Write it down. We need
a
calendar. We need like an official calendar of things.
We do. Josh, remind us.
Yeah. Well, Josh is too busy trying to come up with whatever our contest will be next year.
Yeah. Speaking of contests.
Yes.
So we are rapidly approaching a couple weeks left in our Virtual Boy contest. And from one particular post that caught my eye, and this whole contest may be useless for me next year if I lose this contest.
Why?
Hyperkin. One of my favorite companies, actually. They've put out some amazing clone systems. They could have done better with the NES, but the Super NES one is amazing. The Genesis one I heard is awesome, and the Atari one is awesome. They made some great controllers. They've actually made what's called the Duke. They made the original Xbox controller for the Xbox, the original Xbox, but for the Xbox One. And they're also doing a lot with HD wires. You can buy like an HDMI wire for the Dreamcast, and I think for the PS2 maybe even as well. They put out a photo, which I guess at this point, Q, the photo, whichever side I'm on, they put out this right here, cryptic photo on their Instagram page with no description other than the two optical, looks like, who's a whatsies, and in a big, bold, red, it says 2019. If it is what I think it is, and I don't know if it is what I think it is, but if I think it is what I think it's going to be, I think we're looking at a cloned Virtual Boy.
Well, if it is what I think you think it's going to be, then what I really think it is the basically them announcing the apocalypse is nigh. Because to me, that image looks like we're going to get two nuclear bombs in the shape of Virtual Boy lenses.
I don't know if it's Virtual Boy because, look,
I don't want to even broach this subject. I don't want to go near it. I don't know why any company would waste any time creating something for a platform that has like 19 games on it.
That's what I'm going to say. Look, I'm aware that the library for the Virtual Boy is extremely small. Yep. I know that. I've also gone on record saying that two of the games are probably two of the best games ever to be put out on any video game system. Mario Clash and Wario Land. But the fact, if this is true, unless it's some sort of weird Tiger Electronic game, if they're trying to clone the Virtual Boy, and in a society that tries to find Virtual Boys, and they are extremely rare to find that work 100%.
Yes.
I am very excited about this.
Well, I don't know if you should read into it that much, because when I looked at it, my initial thought, and maybe I didn't look at it closely enough, but when I tried to like really zoom in on what was on the ground, so to speak, down there, I thought they were teasing a disc-based system, because if you look down there's a lot of silver and it's circular, so it kind of made me think, oh, are they coming out with like their version of the Polymega?
Their own system. Okay.
Yeah. Well, no. Their own disc-based system that will play PlayStation, Saturn, Sega CD type of stuff.
Oh, I didn't think of that. But then why would there be two of them?
I don't
like those two lenses.
I'm aware, not sure, but that was my initial thought.
Because even when you look at it closely, because Hyperkin does sell.
Look, we can talk about this all we want. I will explain it away until you get off this whole Virtual Boy kick. Because it's not happening. It's not happening. No, it's not happening.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Hyperkin does sell replacement parts for the PlayStation VR, stuff like that. And yes, they do sell a little bit for, I think they do, replacement parts for the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
A CD-based system, though, would be amazing, because that really would put a market that Polymega was pretty much ready to dominate in 2019. Yeah. But when you look at it closely, it almost does look like a visor of a VR helmet.
Maybe they're coming out with their own VR system for classic gaming.
We'll see. We will see.
We will see. But I'm going to go out on a record here. So Hyperkin, if you are watching or listening, if you are creating what Larry thinks that you're creating, stop. Just stop. That's it. That is my one message that I give to you. Don't do it. It's not worth it. In 2 weeks' time, Larry's going to be witnessing with his own eyes the destruction of that which he holds most dear.
I have hope. You have
hope that you're going to hack my credit card and spend. That's what you're hoping. Because I'm not doing it. I'm not falling for it. We are too close to the end here, pal. And I am destroying that Virtual Boy in your face.
There was another post that came out recently I saw it on Instagram. Actually, our friend, Captain Nostalgia over at Victims and Villains, reposted this teaser, which again, cue the teaser. Yes. Probably now at this point it's going to be in front of me.
Where did you think I was going to put it?
Is a motion poster, which I guess these are the new thing now.
Yeah.
Motion poster for the movie Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Live action.
What are your thoughts?
Okay, so first of all, as you can see, and for those listening on the podcast, the poster basically, you see a blue blur, you see some rings, you hear that iconic ding when the rings are caught, but then he's posing, but you can't see his face, so they purposely block that out. But you
Right.
see the iconic kind of hairdo. You see the red sneakers. You see his very oddly thin legs and arms.
Well, let's think logically here. If you spend your entire time running really, really, really fast, you're gonna have some muscular legs.
This is true. This is true. There's very little to go on. I'm concerned, which I'll explain why in a moment, but I'm excited at the same time because at least it doesn't look like a real hedgehog, like an actual hedgehog.
No, we're gonna have to. I think we're gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, this one's gonna have to wait and see. But as I even mentioned this before talking to someone, in a world, because I've already heard some rumors where
in a world where a hedgehog can talk and run at the same time,
they were trying to work out his face, and in the video game, his eyes are very big, very cartoony. And I guess they didn't want to bring that over to a live action movie like that. So they said they're playing around with it. And I kind of heard, I think, like Sega was like, I don't know how we feel about this. But again, that's a rumor. I don't know how true that is. But in a world where we are getting a live action Pokemon movie, where the Pokemon look like they are pulled directly out of the video game, not made to look like somehow real animals, short of putting fur on them. If we can get real looking video game looking Pokemon, we can get a video game looking Sonic the Hedgehog in a real world environment. My hopes are high, except there was another poster that came out that supposedly was in movie theaters. And it's like a first person shot of Sonic. You see his legs, and I think he's sitting on top of the Golden Gate Bridge.
That is correct.
And everybody hates it. Yeah. So I guess it just looks too weird.
Well, this movie was kind of announced out of the blue, and then the release date for it seemed really, really close.
When is it
next year?
Okay, I think November.
Yeah, but still, that was just hearing about this recently, and then he's seeing the release date. That's really fast, especially for something that's going to be heavily CGI. Yes, I understand that. I was like, but still, to me, this my initial reaction to it was that this reeks of Sega trying to get to the market before the Mario movie comes out, even though the Mario movie's not coming out, I think, till 21 or 22. I think it's 22. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it is. So it just seems strange to all of a sudden have it come out and be like, oh yeah, and it's coming out next year. And I'm like, huh? Really? Wow. Okay.
Now, the other thing we got to look at, which they haven't shown any photos yet, is now Jim Carrey is playing Dr. Eggman or Robotnik, whatever the hell they're going to call him in this movie. What is he? Is he going to CG? Is he going to be CGI? Is he going to look like Robotnik? He better not be skinny.
Well, if they're making Sonic look like uber real, then I'm assuming that we're going to see Jim Carrey. We're not going to see a CGI.
Yeah, kind of like Jim Carrey in The Grinch. just throw some makeup on him, call it a day.
Well, Jim Carrey in a fat suit.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be in a fat suit.
Yes.
So, we'll see. I'm skeptic at first. I got it. Obviously, we all need to see more. Josh got me though when he sent us that other photo. What looked like Knuckles, but it ended up being from a meme that's been around forever.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff that's been after the Sonic thing was announced. So, a lot of fake stuff out there.
We shall see. And then another piece of news I want to talk about, and then Ann, I know you got a bunch of news that we'll hit.
I got a bunch of news I want to get to, so hurry up.
Good. All right. Well, here we go. And we saw this coming. You know what? At this point, I'm fine with it. I don't have a problem with it. I think everyone is now satisfied.
Yeah.
But Nintendo has come out and said that the NES Classic and the Super NES Classic, they're not making any new ones.
Nope.
They're done with them. They're discontinued. Just Dunsky. Pretty much straightforward.
That was the whole thing. Like when they came back out and said, first off, they said after the NES Classic debacle where people couldn't get their hands on them because there weren't enough. They promised that there would be enough SNES Classics, and they delivered on that.
They sure did.
There were always enough. Whenever you went to a store, for the most part, granted, like when they first came out, maybe they sold out for a little bit. I was like, but there wasn't a long wait. And it got to the point where they were just sitting on shelves in stores. You walk into a store now, you see them everywhere. And then they promised to bring the NES Classic back after that. If you look in the background above my right shoulder, you will see a white cat in the wild sitting atop a refrigerator.
How the hell did she get up there?
I don't know.
Very quiet.
Be very quiet, or she will pounce and attack you. Crikey. Okay. So anyway, so the NES Classic went back into circulation because they promised that they would make enough to meet the demand that everybody had. They did that in spades. Again, you can find an NES Classic anywhere. So it only makes sense for Nintendo to now just turn around and be like, okay, we're done making these. Now everybody is everybody happy? So if you have not gotten your hands on these classic systems, which by the way are both fantastic things to have.
Beautiful. They're wonderful.
Yeah. They're really good. They're nice and compact. You can actually put them in your pocket and take them with you wherever you go.
You give small television, HDMI, plug it in, you're good to go.
No,
Bing, bang, boom.
Or whatever it is. But whatever, you know what I mean? 30 NES games for $80. No, 30 NES games for $60. 21 SNES games for $80, including one that was never released before. Yeah. I mean, the price tag is perfect. But if you've been waiting, get them now. They will be gone soon. So, bottom line.
Do it.
Yes. Jumping into other news really quickly. I know we've been going for a little while here.
All right.
But let's do some quick hits here.
Okay.
One, remember how we stop it. Remember how we talked about Nintendo taking legal action against ROM sites?
It's everybody who's breathing. Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody's panicking. But Nintendo did not stop there. So now Nintendo is taking legal action against a man in California who's been selling hacked consoles, pirated versions of Nintendo games, and tools to help users modify their own systems.
Folks, I forgot to tell you this is Anthony's last episode of the Retro Gamers because he's been had.
I do not live in Orange County.
Oh, okay.
That you know of. So anyway, Nintendo has filed suit against this person for piracy. And, I didn't know if you know this, but he violated what they call the Digital Millennium Copyright Act.
I've never heard of that.
The DMCA. That is the name. That is the name of the Copyright Act. Now my cat just mooned us. Really,
I saw that.
That's what she thinks. That's what she thinks of my podcast.
And just knocked everything over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stupid human. Why are you putting this in front of me?
Yeah, and then she ran and hid in the bedroom. It just figures. So anyway, Nintendo's legal action was not just stopping with the ROM sites. They are apparently going after any and everybody. So if anybody out there is doing some illegal piracy, you may want to think twice about Nintendo. Can't say the same thing about Sega and Sony and Microsoft. I don't know what they're doing, but Nintendo definitely will be out to get you. Moving on, interesting note here that just came out, that the Nintendo Switch has surpassed PlayStation Vita sales in Japan. But when they say they surpassed them, they surpassed the lifetime sales for PlayStation Vita in Japan. So since 2011, the PlayStation Vita has sold 5.95 million units. The Switch is over 6 million now.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah. So
cool.
The Switch has outperformed the PlayStation Vita, which has been on sale for 7 years in terms of total units sold.
Look, Nintendo, they did,
big deal.
They're hitting a home run.
It's definitely a big deal. And sticking with the Switch,
okay.
We have a first ever happen in U.S. video game history.
Oh.
So based on sales of console to game, like console versus game, for the first time ever, over 50% of console owners have purchased 3 games for the system, for the one system. So in other words, out of all the Switch owners in the United States, over 50% of them own Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, and Mario Kart.
Wow. That's awesome. It kind of almost makes sense. Breath of the Wild was the game you bought the system for, basically. If you weren't a Zelda fan, then Odyssey was the game you bought it for. and then Mario Kart 8 is Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And I know some of those sales also didn't hurt that a lot of those games were packed in with some of them at some point, but still, that's wild. No pun intended.
Yeah, that's wild. 3 games at over 50% sales is like, again, unheard of, has never happened before in video game history of the US. So all good news coming out of Nintendo.
Sweet.
A little bit of sad news to announce. And this isn't for the US, this is actually in Spain. So we're very sorry to the country of Spain to tell you that the Nintendo magazine is officially closing for good in Spain. There will be no more print magazines available in Spain.
Like an official Nintendo magazine?
There is an official Nintendo magazine up until now that was still being printed in Spain.
Not Nintendo Power.
No, Nintendo magazine.
Well, that's weird.
It's Nintendo magazine. Unfortunately, after 26 years, Nintendo magazine in Spain is officially gone. So we weep for you, Spain.
Arrivederci.
Exactly. A couple other quick notes. There are some new Neo Geo games. We're very Nintendo heavy on the new stuff. There are some new Neo Geo games coming to the Switch.
Okay.
They just announced a list of them, and it'll be on December 20th, and these are the games that are going to become available. Puzzle Bobble 2, The King of Fighters 2002, Ragnagard, the Ultimate 11 SNK Football Championship, Ninja Masters How Ninpocho,
of course, and
Kizuna Encounter.
All
right. So we got 7 new games coming. 7 new Neo Geo games coming to the Nintendo Switch.
Sweet.
On the eShop. And last but not least, a huge congratulations to Mega Man. Mega Man has hit a mega milestone.
Want.
The Mega Man Legacy Collection has sold over 1 million units, which is the first time the Mega Man franchise has done that in the last 15 years.
All right, sweet.
So Mega Man's making a big comeback. He's on an upswing. We just got Mega Man 11 in October, which is absolutely impossible, but fun to play. But congratulations, Mega Man, for staying current. So we've got that. That's pretty much everything I have for retro news.
I like it a lot.
You better like it a lot.
All right, cool.
Yes. Well, I think we're done.
I think so.
I'm tired.
Yes, I hear you.
Even though it's only noon. I'm sorry, 1.
It's almost 4 o'clock here. All right, yeah. So figure we come back. We talk a little bit of news. A lot of news actually.
Yep.
And kind of just continue on, getting ready to wrap up the year.
And speaking of wrapping up the year, next week's episode is gonna drop on Christmas.
God, Christmas is next week. Holy Lord.
Yeah.
Can't believe it showed up so quick. I still got to go shopping for people.
Oh, yeah. I'm not done shopping either. So, by the time this episode drops, I may be, but I'm not done shopping as of this moment.
I'm just buying for 2 other people, and I'm good to go.
I could not be more lax about it this year. I'm just like, you know what? If I forget anybody, either I'm sorry or here's a gift card.
I'm telling everyone right now, I am perfectly fine with gift cards. WWE Network, Nintendo eShop, Amazon. I don't care. I'm happy with those. I love them.
Yep, exactly. Someone just buy me the DLC for Dead by Daylight, and I'm happy.
Yeah, and someone just buy me something.
Exactly. I would buy you a Virtual Boy, but you're going to be doing the buying for that.
Hyperkin.
Nope, not going to happen. Not happening. I will personally go to their offices to make sure it doesn't happen. And don't tempt me, because I have enough frequent flyer miles to go anywhere. So you can't hide from me.
You really do. It's like, sir, where are you going on this destination? To destroy a building. Okay, enjoy, sir.
Well, let's not go that far. I just want to destroy the production line.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And erase all the plans. Kind of like how we can't go to the moon anymore because we don't have the plans for it anymore. I'm going to do the same thing with the Hyperkin Virtual Boy.
True. What? What plans? Just shoot a rocket north and go.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see how that works.
All righty. Well, let's call. I'm missing stuff, so I guess we'll call it.
Yes, let's call it.
All right. So, as usual, wherever, if you're listening to us now, you know where to listen to us. But if you have friends and family who want to listen, tell them they can find us on any program they use to listen to podcasts, including iTunes, Spreaker, Amazon, Alexa, iHeartRadio, wherever else, YouTube. In fact, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all of them, Retro Gamers Podcast, and hit them with the email and the website.
We got email at theretrogamers.com, or you can go to our website, www.theretrogamers.com.
Absolutely. And with that, we are going to call it a week, and I will catch you next week for the holidays.
You're going to catch me in a few minutes because we're going to go online and play some Dead by Daylight.
I completely forgot about that. Okay. So we will check that out in a little bit. But in the meantime, we will catch you right here next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.